Permission to come aboard granted. Hello and welcome aboard the story ship. I'm Sean Driscoll, your captain, and today we have stories about animals. A long time ago, before people had TVs and Xboxes and PlayStations, they would tell stories while sitting around a fire. And one of the things they liked to do was explain how things came about. And they would tell these stories to make them feel more comfortable in the world and to help them understand how the world came about and all the living creatures that are here. This first story is from Hardeville Elementary, and it's called The Octopus. It's a wonderful story that explains about how the octopus got so many arms. Then I'll be telling you a tale that I wrote myself. It's a wisdom tale, one that gives advice or suggestions about how to live your life. 2 animal stories for you, The Octopus and Laughing Lily.
Why octopuses have 8 legs? Once upon a time, there was the octopus named Mr. Octavius. He lived in the deep blue sea. One day, he went to a Sparkette's party called Jam. He danced all day long until nighttime. He sang a fast song, and then he started to get offbeat. So the Sparkettes gave him a chance to sing over again. He stayed offbeat. He got kicked out. He was mad. He ran back into the party with a red face. There was a fight. The Sparkettes hurt him badly. They put poison berries in his drink that made 8 legs pop out.
They started making fun of him, so he shot ink in their eyes. They fell in a volcano, and they were never seen again.
Ever since that day, octopus became popular and deadly. Nobody messing with them again. This is why octopus have 8 legs.
Did you know octopuses can shoot out black ink? They do it so they can confuse whatever predator or creature is chasing them. It's a way to protect themselves. It worked perfectly for this octopus. The Octopus, from the kids at Hardeville Elementary, recorded in 2020, 21 years ago. This next story is a wisdom tale. It's a story from my CD, Critter Tales, and it's called Laughing Lily. And Lily has a bit of a problem. She finds out how to overcome it with the help of her friends. It's a happy story. It's about how to find the brighter, happier side of life. Here she is, Laughing Lily. Laughing Lily. In a pond in a place not too far from here lives a duck with a laugh that can stop anyone's tears. With a waddle and a shake, she'll tell a joke or two, and in a moment you'll find she's chased away your blues. Well, you'll know her when you see her, 'cause she's really very silly. And wherever there's laughter, that's where you'll find Lily. But not so long ago, it wasn't always this way. 'Cause you could find Lily crying each and every day. She would cry about the rain and cry about the snow and cry about the sun or when the wind wouldn't blow. If everything wasn't just perfect, which it never really was, she'd cry and cry and cry just because. At first, all the animals would try to cheer her up, but even with their best jokes, they still found it tough. Some days she'd cry and cry and cry until her pond was overflowing with all the tears she wept from the wind not blowing. Then one day Mike the monkey heard about this duck and went to find the hyena called Hysterical Huck. Now if you've ever seen a hyena, he looks rather ridiculous. But even worse than his looks, his laughs are really ticklish. So together they came up with a plan to have a laughing contest, to make Lily smile and see who was the funniest. Now when they found Lily, she was crying just as they expected. It was a really bad case of blues, they both suspected. Well, Mike the monkey began first with a duck imitation, and to all the other animals it was a real sensation. He poked out his rear and started to waddle about, and he flapped his arms and quacked, then let out a shout. Then he tripped and fell with a splash in the lake. And the hyena laughed so hard he began to shake. But there sat Lily with a great big frown, crying, crying, crying. Still no laughter to be found. But now it's time for the hyena to begin. So he told a joke about Lily's skin. "Why do ducks fly south? 'Cause it's too far to walk," he replied with a cackle. The monkey thought it funny and he began to stickle. He giggled, gasped, and guffawed, and still it didn't tickle her. Well, the hyena looked at the monkey and declared her totally helpless. Then they looked at each other and thought, "This is ridiculous." Then, out of the corner of his eye, the monkey saw Lily crack a smile. And when Lily saw him looking, she started back to crying for a while. The monkey began to laugh, and the hyena joined in. Together they howled and cackled until they ran out of wind. And Lily began to squirm, and her face started to contort. She tried to hold the laughter back, but all she did was snort. Well, the monkey and the hyena laughed even harder. She made them laugh so hard that their eyes began to water. And then she couldn't stand it. She broke out in a roar. And they all kept on laughing till their bellies got sore. Now, Lily never cries. She always jokes and smiles. And that's why everyone comes to see her, walking miles and miles. So take a hint from a duck who's definitely cried her share. It's easier to live and love with laughter in the air.
Well, there's some good advice from a duck. You know, I've found over the years, if I can find a way to laugh when I'm upset, angry, or mad, it makes life a lot easier. Remember, try to find the laughter in life. That's our show for today, folks. I had a wonderful time. Remember to visit us online at thestoryship.com. And don't forget, if your school would like to participate in the podcast, just send us an email at info@thestoryship.com or visit us online at thestoryship.com. You can also participate in our workshops and teach you how to build your own podcast for your school. We'd love to help you out. Check us out, again, at thestoryship.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks, everybody. Happy listening.